Welcome everybody. My name is Jeffrey St. Laurent and this is the Tuesday Live Show. I'm excited to be here because I have some great information for you today around how often should I send my emails. So if you're a coach who's starting off and wanting to do email marketing, as we call it, email marketing, right? There's always the dilemma of like, how much should I send? How many times a week should I send? And then of course all the other questions, what do I say? I don't want to be bothering people, any of that stuff. So I'm going to kind of talk about that today a little bit and just give you some clarity around that. Before I get going on that topic, I do record all of my Tuesday live shows. I put them on my university at sellingcoaching.com. I help coaches transition to a full-time business. I have a lot of great resources at sellingcoaching.com in my university. If you want to start right off with one as a recommendation, right on the homepage, sellingcoaching.com, if you enter your name and email address, right where my dog is, you'll get a great audio resource called Launching Your Coaching Business, the First 3 Vital Steps. So definitely check that out. That's also going to put you in my email community, which allows you to, obviously get emails from me on a weekly basis, which is the topic today. Great information in there as well. Obviously share stuff that I'm doing. One of which is my 14-day GoPro challenge. If you're watching this live, we are starting another 14-day GoPro challenge today. So if you want to check that out, if you're watching this live or recording of this, visit the website goprochallenge.com. There's still time to join us in the first day. So if you're seeing this and you're thinking, man, you know what, I need to push. I really want to get my message out there. Definitely check that out, goprochallenge.com. And you can find out more information there if it's something that you want to join. Just register. All the information is there, and I'll see you on the other end. So with that being said, let's talk about today, which is how often should I send my emails? And so let me start off with this. First off, when we email our audience, it's a vital piece of our business. We've got to understand, to me, you've got to really understand why we email in the first place. Then it's going to help you understand or better understand for yourself how frequently you want to do the emails when you understand the logic behind it and the reason behind it. And the main thing our emails do is they keep us top of mind with our audience. And when I say top of mind, it all comes down to us as a business and wanting to help the people that are attracted to our message and what we're doing. And with that being said, at some point in our marketing efforts, they come across our message through something we've written, something we've recorded, whether it's video or audio, a live presentation, a live event, a live show like this, any medium like that. And as a result, they've become a part of our email list, or I like to say our email community. Just like I invited you to become a part of mine at my website, sellingcoaching.com, enter your name and email, not only to get a great resource, but to become a part of my community. So now they're part of your community. If we don't ever communicate with them at all, or very infrequently, once a month, once every quarter, every other month, I'm not saying it's bad. At least you're doing something. Never is not good, but something is better than nothing. But too infrequently gets us to the point where it's just we're not in front of them. We're not nurturing that relationship enough. And when I say nurturing it enough, it all falls under the premise of people buy, or said differently, people will hire us when the timing is right. When the timing is right for what? When the timing is right for them to want to make a change, want to do something about whatever's challenging them in their life. That's it. Just something, a need, as I like to call it, that they have. But everyone has a need. Everyone wants to do something in their world. Yet they don't do it until the timing's right. And that could mean a bunch of different things. But mostly it's things get bad enough. They get sick and tired enough. Something happens where it's just like, oh my God, I've got to do something about this. That's the important time for us not only to show up in their inbox, to be there, but also to have been there all along the way with, let's just say, emails on a regular basis. I'll just say a weekly basis. And what that does is it nurtures the relationship. And you have to recognize, even though The majority of the people aren't going to maybe even open your emails, never mind read your emails. There will be some who do, but the vast majority won't. They'll see your name in their inbox, just like you see any promotional emails that you receive in your inbox weekly, sometimes daily for different businesses, whether it's your coaching business related emails or just, shopping emails, for clothes or shoes or gear that you buy. You subscribe to certain, emails, and you get daily emails sometimes for some of those companies. And so just like those, you see, but you don't read all of them. Typically you swipe and delete. But guess what? They are top of mind. For that second, they're top of mind. And for that second or minute when it comes into your inbox, whatever business we're talking about that and emails that you receive, the thing about it is that if you receive that email and something's going on in your life that's relevant to that topic of email, and I'm talking, this could be outside of coaching, right? It could be like I golf, so I receive a bunch of golf emails, and a lot of them on a daily basis with daily deals and, free utility shipping, get your gear by the weekend to use, type of stuff. And when I see that stuff, I typically delete. I delete. But as an example, last week, I'm like, oh my God, I had gotten a club for my birthday, and then I loved it so much, I wanted to update my old ones, and then I was getting these emails. Guess what I was doing? The timing was right for me to do something, so I was clicking on them. I was opening them. I'm visiting the website. The timing was right. That's what happens. And it's no different for what we do as a coach. And so it's vitally important not only to be there when the timing is right, but like I said just a minute ago, to be nurturing those relationships on a continued basis. Even if they're being swiped and deleted each and every week or whatever time, you've been there. And that says something about you. It says you're consistent. It says that you care. It says that you want to help. It says that you want to educate. And it shows you got the bandwidth to do that, and the fortitude and the consistency to do that. That alone says a lot. And the reason I'm saying that, and that's valuable, is because I've gotten the feedback over the years. See, I've been at it longer than you have, I'm imagining, if you're watching this, and therefore I've seen it play out. I've seen people give me that feedback, and when it follows through and they hire me as a result of me being in front of them over and over again, weekly, over months, if not years. And when someone does hire me, they're like, well, one of the things that impressed me about you is that you were always there. You were always in my inbox. You always communicated. You're always doing your show, no matter what. And that said a lot about you. It said a lot about your discipline. It said a lot about that you cared, that you showed up, and that you were there for me. And I felt like you were always there for me whether I needed you or not. Those are important. That's important feedback. That's what I'm giving to you. That's why I do it all the time, no matter what. There are times when I don't want to do my show. There are times when I don't want to send my email. And there are times when I'm like, can't wait to do it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter either way. It's not about how I feel. It's about me recognizing the importance of that communication. And that's my next point with email marketing, as the gurus will call it. I don't look at it as email marketing, even though, yes, it is email marketing. I look at it as communication. I look at marketing and communication as the same thing, as synonymous. To me, they mean the same. If I'm marketing, that means I'm communicating. But I think about it more as communicating, right? So when I write my emails, what do I want to communicate today? That's all I got to do. What do I want to communicate today? And even if I'm marketing something specific, like today, in my emails, if you're in my email community, you might notice over this last week I've sent an email actually every day because I was marketing for my 14-day GoPro challenge, right? That launches today. Like I said, if you're watching this today, it's launching today, which you can still join, GoProChallenge.com, right? But the point is that my seat's sinking down. The point is that I'm there and I'm nurturing those relationships repeatedly, but I'm communicating. And communication, like I said, can be actually selling something like my GoPro challenge or my GoPro Elite 5-month group program or whatever else I'm marketing, my one-on-one group, my one-on-one mentoring or something like that. But the point is that within that, me selling something or having a resource for you, I'm helping you. like today, I'm helping you. Do I have stuff you can do and hire me for? Absolutely. But the main premise of it all is me helping you. And that's all the email is. It's a communication of that. And it's a consistency of communication of that. So now that we understand much better, hopefully, why it's important to be top of mind and to email, and hopefully repurposed or the way we're thinking about emails in terms of not necessarily marketing, even though it is, but sometimes to me a different word has different energy around it, and oftentimes that helps shift our perspective, and our perspective helps shift how we feel, because how we think can determine how we feel. That's the mind-body connection. If we shift the word around that from marketing, which a lot of coaches don't like the word marketing, or they get scared of that. I'm not saying you don't, who's watching this now, but if we shift that to communication, it becomes different. So what do you want to communicate to your audience today? You come from where you're at and you share something. It doesn't matter how short, it doesn't matter how long, how involved or not, whether you have something, a call to action or not. What's most important is that you write the email and you send it. So now that we understand those pieces, it comes down to frequency. How much do I want to do that? Let's forget about a recommendation right now, even though I'll give you one before we close this off. Think about it for yourself. How often do I want to communicate with my audience, and what feels right? That's how I'd have you go off of. And if you start with my base recommendation of once a week, you can build from there. I wouldn't recommend doing less than once a week. Once a month, like I said earlier, it's too infrequent. Every other week, Listen, if you do every other week, why aren't you going to do every other week? Why aren't you going to do every week? What's the difference? You're missing a week. You can't. It's going to take you 2 whole weeks to come up with an email. You saying you have nothing to say for 2 weeks to your audience? That's the way I look at it. Right? And if your answer is like, yes, okay, I'm not berating you, making you feel bad about it. I'm just saying, to me, if you're doing this business and it's a business, what's one thing you want to communicate to your audience each week? One thought, one idea, one story, one anything. That's all it is. And so that's why I say if it's every other week, well, why not every week? So my minimum recommendation is once a week. And like I said, what's a thought, an idea, a story, something you want to share to them? Who cares about the length, frequency, or other strategies or tactics, or other people who are email marketing gurus who are going to say, well, here's how you have to format it. It's like, let's get there, but let's start you off with doing something, with sharing what feels good. And that's it. And so from that once a week, you can then determine your increased frequency if indeed you want to increase your frequency at any given point. It doesn't have to be on a consistent basis more than once a week. With the once a week, I'd say pick a day. If you really need to be scheduled, pick a day and pick a time and do it the same day and or the same day and time every week. So it's scheduled. I want you to have that structure. When you work with me, if you were to work with me, that's one of the first things we'll do is we're going to structure that. From there, determine how much more you want to communicate. What is your audience comprised of? Are you starting off and is it just all friends and family? Or, as you've been doing it more, now you've had more events, you've got more, I'll say, relevant contacts in your audience, meaning it's not just friends and family, right? It's now friends, family, and, couple dozen, 100, etc. Real people. When I say that, meaning they're relevant for your message. Maybe at that point, maybe you increase it more at that point. In a given week, like I said this last week, I was running my 14-day GoPro challenge. I emailed every day. Why? I wanted to be top of mind. Now, I know not everyone's going to read those emails. I want people to sign up. I want to be in front of people. So I was posting every day. I was emailing every day, right? And then there comes in the standpoint of like, well, Jeff, what if people get annoyed? What if that's too much, right? Even if once a week, what if that's too much? They unsubscribe, right? They remove themselves from your audience. Is that a bad thing? Well, I guess that's up to you. I'm not going to judge it for you. But what I'll say with this is if people don't want to be there for whatever reason, they unsubscribe. It doesn't mean that they don't like you. It doesn't mean that your information is bad. It doesn't mean that you're annoying them. It just means that for whatever reason, they don't want to be a part of that anymore. And maybe one of those reasons is too frequent emails. Okay, that's okay. Don't compromise your communication with your audience because a handful of people every month or quarter or whatever it is decide that for whatever reason they don't want to be a part of that anymore. Even if it's people that you know, or a client of yours, or your brother or sister, or best friend, it's okay. It doesn't mean anything. It's only going to mean what you interpret. Continue on the path because you understand the principles of why we do and communicate via email on a weekly basis or more within our business in terms of being a successful business. Because there are some who aren't going to like that and they'll unsubscribe. Just like you, who's a member of different email lists, who receive emails from different communities and businesses of all different kinds on a daily basis sometimes. And at some point, maybe you've been getting emails from a marketing guru every day for the past 5 years. And for whatever reason, today it's too much and you unsubscribe. That's okay. Does it mean that you hate that person? Does it mean that you don't like them anymore? Or like maybe you've moved on, or maybe there's a lot of different reasons. Maybe you're just like sick of getting all these emails on a regular basis, so you have a purging day. It's okay. People do that. But the people that want to be there will be there. Don't worry about the rest. As long as you're communicating authentically, it feels good, and you understand the principles of why you're doing it, continue on with it. And release the overthinking in terms of what you don't want to be, and rather shift your focus to what you want to be and what you want to communicate. And allow those people who wish to be a part of that journey for however long they want to be there. That's the objective. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. For those that are watching live, if you want to communicate with me in the chat, just let me know that you're there. Just say, hey, Jeff, what's up? I love to see, because when you do these live broadcasts, you don't get to see who's there, but I love to see who's there. If you want to go a little bit further and share, maybe what resonated about this for you or how it's helped you in any way, I'd love to hear that as well. So with that being said, thank you for tuning in live. Like I said, if you are watching this, I do have the 14-day GoPro Challenge launching today. If it's of interest to you, visit GoProChallenge.com. We've got a nice small group, so if you want to participate in that, you're looking for a push in 14 days. Not only it's honing your niche, it's your pricing structure, but it's setting up a live event. It's how to promote it, how to create content, how to deliver it, and how to follow up to get clients. So it's not behind the scenes, it's the fundamentals of actually getting the message out there. GoProChallenge.com. Check it out. Love to have you if the timing is right for something like that.